Maybe you are asking,
what good can come out of this jean?
A lot. So don't throw away your scrappy jeans just like that. As a fashion designer, you are an artist, and there are a lot of things you can create with your art.
Please, when you are done, like, please, subscribe, please, leave a comment, please,
and make sure you try it out.
This is going to be a 3-part corset. That's the first part, and those are the 2 sides by the sides. And as you can see, you see that it's a button down corset. So I've not done this before, to be honest with you, so I'm going to use the knowledge I have for drafting a button down sleeve. So I'm going to be applying that knowledge. So let's start drafting. On the center front, I'm going to leave 2 inches. This is going to act as my button allowance. That's where I'm going to be imputing my buttons, and after that I'm going to draw a straight line across that. All the measurements I'll be taking is going to start from the new line I have. I'll place my tape on my shoulders. I'll get my bust point, which is 9.5 inches, my under bust point, which is 12.5 inches, and the full length of this corset, which is 17 inches. I went over to the other side and did the same thing, and I wrote straight line across the points that I have. This is a basic bodice pattern I'm drafting first, so pay proper attention if you don't already know how to draft a basic bodice pattern. On the shoulder line, I'll measure my shoulder measurement, which is 14 divided by 2. I'll make a mark there, and after that I'll mark my neck measurements, my basic neck measurement, which is 3 inches depth and 3 inches width. Since I don't have a curve rule to draft my neck curve, I'll just help myself by drafting a neck block, and after that with my free hand I'll just connect my neck curve, and there we go. On my shoulder line, I'll go down by 1 inch, that is my shoulder slope, and I'll connect to meet my neckline. The next thing is to calculate my armhole length, which is 31 divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever it gives you, you are going to mark it on your shoulder line to get your armhole length. So mine was 6.66. You know what? We all saw the number it gave me. Draw a straight line from your shoulder to connect to your armhole length, like this, and there you go, you already have your armhole length. From the ending of your armhole length, you are going to rule a straight line across that point too also, and that is going to act as our chest line. I'm going to label each line that I have: my chest line, my bust line, my upper bust line, and my waistline. The next thing for us to do is to mark our dart. Get your nipple to nipple measurement. Mine was 7 inches divided by 2, which gave me 3.5. I'll mark it on the waistline and on the bust line, and then I'll connect it through my under bust line to meet each other like this. Right on my waistline, I'm going to come out by 1/2 inch on the dart line that I have, and then come down by 1 inch from my bust line. This is so that the dart will not sit exactly on my bust, and then connect those points to give me my dart leg. Now we have something that looks like a triangle. Now it's time to get our armhole curve. Find the midpoint of your armhole length, make a mark there, and on that point you are going to go in by 1/2 inch. On your chest line, impute your bust measurements divided by 4. Mine is 31 divided by 4, gave me 7.75. I'm just going to make the mark there, and thereafter I'll connect each point that I have like this to get my armhole curve. If you don't have a curve, feel free to use your free hand, just the way you are seeing me do. Take your tape over to your shoulder line and get the middle. Connect it to the bust line. Measure the space that is in between your bust line and your under bust line. Take that measurement around your bust to form a bust radius. And while you are doing this, make sure that your tape is on the bust line. I'm going to use a marker later, but for now let me make use of a pencil. Exactly on your under bust line, go out by 1/2 inch and make sure that your tape is on the dart leg. Do it on the other side too. I brought it close so you would see what I'm doing, and after that you are going to connect it down to your waistline, and also connect them to the tip of your dart with your free hand or with a curve, just the way you are seeing me do on the screen. I'm just going to highlight them with my marker, and this is what I have. I'm going to take what I have between my under bust dart line, and I have 1.5 inch. I'm going to spread them on the line I have, going from my shoulder to my bust line. I'll give ½ inch to the side going to the center, and I'll give 1 inch to the side going towards the sides. I hope you understand. Now after that, I'll connect those points to my bust line with my ruler, and I'll also highlight them with my marker to make it more visible. On the center front line, you can decide to go downwards by ½ inch or 1 inch on your chest line, but I don't want it to be too exposed. I just want to maintain the chest line that I have. For me, I'll go in by ½ inch and connect the curve into my button allowance. I'm going to extend my chest line into my button allowance to give me proper guidance. To prevent gaping on your cup, we are going to go out on each dart leg by ½ inch, and we are going to blend it into the lines that you have. I'm going to fold my button allowance inward so that I can draft properly my center front. I'll go in by ½ inch and I'll rule a straight line to make it more visible, and thereafter I'm going to connect my cup to the center line that I have. I would have done this with my cuff, but my cuff would not give me a straight curve, so I just went to use my free hand to connect them just the way you see me do on the screen, and after that I highlighted it with my marker. You see that space between our armhole length and the curve? We are going to get the middle, and after that we are going to go down by ½ inch. With your ruler, you are going to rule a line out just the way you see me do on the screen. And this is so that the corset will sit well on our armhole, so that it will be comfortable when we wear it on our armhole. So you are going to connect them with your curve or your free hand the way you see me do. And while you are connecting, please make sure you connect them in a way that your boobs will have room to sit. So this is what I have. Regardless you have a curve or not, you are going to have something beautiful. Just make sure that you know what you are doing and start out with a pencil if you don't have a curve. Now you know that this corset is on 3 parts. For the sides of the cup, I'm going to go down by 2 inches, and on the center of the both cups, I'm going to go down by 2½ inches. That's 2.5, and thereafter I'm going to rule them like this. If you have a curve, please make do of a curve, but if you don't have a curve, make use of your free hand. But you see that even though I'm using my free hand, I'm still using a pencil before I use my marker. We are done with the cup. It's time to impute our body measurements. I imputed my bust measurement divided by 4, and I took the space I have on my cup, which was 2 inches. I added it back, and I added 1 inch as my seam allowance. On my waistline, I added my waist measurement divided by 4. I took what I have on my dart, replaced it back, and then let me just remove this waistline, and then I added back 1 inch for my stitching allowance, and then I connected them with my curve to give me my shape. I'm just going to highlight the part where that I'm going to be cutting out with my marker, and after that I'm going to cut out with my ruler. But first I want to label my cup so that I'll know the direction which they go, because we are going to be joining these together. It's not a 4-part corset, it's a 3-part corset. So watch closely the way I am cutting them right now, so you're not going to make a mistake when you are cutting. So these are all the parts I have for both of them. I'm going to be separating them right now because I want to be joining 1 and 2 together. But before then, I'm going to mark the direction which the bottom one go, so you can see the indication with my pencil. I'm going to be joining the first part together like this, and I'll cut it out on a new piece of paper. I'm going to place it on my new pattern paper, and I'll use my pin to pin it down. After pinning it down, I'll bring in my marker and trace it out on my new pattern paper. This is what we have. 2 has become 1, and now with this I'll be able to cut just 1 piece on my fabric. I'm just going to label this number 1, and I'll label the other 2 pieces 2 and 3. I'll make directional arrows to know the position each part will go when I'm sewing. It's time for us to draft the back, and I have a basic bodice pattern for the back. If you don't know how to, I have the tutorial up on my channel, so just go and watch that out. So this is the basic bodice pattern for the back. I've already imputed my body measurements for my waist, my bust, and I've also replaced my dart allowance. As you can see, I've also imputed my bust measurements, and I also gave 1 inch allowance for the back also. So I'm just going to bring in my side front so that I'll be able to determine where it stops, where the armhole is, so that I'll have something accurate, not that the back will be longer than the front. So I'm just going to roll a straight line into the center front like this. I'm just going to roll a straight line with my marker, and that is going to be my new line, my new chest line. I'm going to connect my body measurements from my bust line to my waistline, and after that, on my new chest line, I'm going to make a slant into the center back. So that is all. I'm going to cut it out now. That is all for drafting the back pattern, and thereafter I'm going to take my marker and label it the center back, and I'll label the other side the side back for, you know, direction purpose. These are what I have. These are the 2 pieces, the front and for the back also, and I'll catch you in the sewing tutorial. Bye. Be the first to get notified when I post the sewing tutorial. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever it drops, and trust me, it's dropping really soon. See you guys. Bye.